Hey, this is Dr. George Moricz, recharging your brain and body in literally seconds because of an engineering breakthrough using space technology. That's right, youth engineering. Earlier, we talked about bioengineering, where we're trying to improve our health, medicine using drug delivery systems, medications, and devices. But what we're talking about, a youth engineering breakthrough. This is the stuff of SpaceX and NASA technology. Many people would have figured that Elon and his team of engineers would have tackled something like this. But while everyone was distracted with COVID, with this constant push for what I would call 20th century antiquated delivery systems to try to improve your health and immune system, my team and I have been working on something that really is the stuff of space technology. Think of this. Right now, we know what it takes to diagnose a problem in your body. Medicine has used electromagnetic field diagnostic technology. Anything as simple as an ultrasound from CT scans, MRIs, PET scans, they all use these waves, okay? But what they have kept from you is a way of actually treating your body, freeing it of cancer, microorganisms, using the same elegant technology to diagnose it. Instead, you've been told that you need something that you get at a pharmacy, or you need to undergo treatment with something that does not work with the fields in your body, the bioactive fields in the body. In a few moments, I'm going to explain how you could actually walk away with this technology, use it every day, as I have been doing for the past 2 years with my clients. It's called the bioactive wave system. So think of this. Let's say I cracked the code on youth, okay? Let's say I figured out how to roadmap you back the way you were when you were 20. As you know, when you were 20, it didn't matter if you slept right, ate right, you woke up the next day, you were a sexual dynamo. You had the most perfect roadmap, perfect pattern of waveforms of youthful chemicals running through your body. See, that's how your body works. It works in pulsatile waveforms. It has certain frequencies, it goes to a certain amplitude, the height of it, and it does it over and over again. What it doesn't do is it doesn't push a hormone, a peptide, or a drug, just push it through your system. See, right now, most people who think they're doing bioidentical hormone replacement, or they think they're doing something that seems natural, what's happening, most of them are not absorbing it through their digestive system. Even if they're doing it topically, it has to go through a process, and then it gets converted into other unintended hormones and chemicals. If you got shots in the fat and muscle or implants, what has to happen is it has to metabolize through those tissues. And what happens is that there's a big wave, but it's a big wave. It's not these little pulses like things were years ago. Let me add to the confusion. There's things called biofilms. A lot of you have been on antibiotics or chronically sick, especially if you've come down with a bug that's lasted a while. You have these films in your body, so you can't even absorb drugs that are supposed to knock them out. Many of you have enzyme deficiencies. You have a sluggish liver. Your gut is overgrown with bugs. That's right, organisms that are overgrown, so you can't absorb the things that you need, and it makes it nearly impossible for you to get better. And still others of you have heavy metals and chemicals that have loaded your body. So it would make no sense to cram something else in your body. See, many of you already have pill fatigue or powder fatigue. There's only so much you can cram into your body, and none of it is getting you better. Endless supplements, nutritional products that leave you more broke than better. So to benefit from this space-age technology, no, you don't have to be an astronaut. You realize that if you were offered what I'm about to share with you, this natural waveform technology, the bioactive wave system, it would kill our economy. See, very little of our economy is based on production. It's all based on consumption. And if people were constantly eating, kept fat and fatigued and aging before their years, then they would live an insurance-based life. In other words, depending on insurance programs, big pharma, okay, lots of pharmaceuticals, visits to hospitals and hospital agency programs. If we got rid of that and we freed you from that, if we took you back to your 20s and the way your body functioned naturally without all of this intervention that's been put on you, it would collapse the economy. The food and drug industry would be gone and the entire economy would be completely collapsed. So you ask, as I mentioned earlier, so let's say you had somebody like Elon who was in this bioelectricity world and his team had just discovered what I'm about to share with you. Well, it's one thing to discover it, but it's another thing to actually perfect it. So think about this. If you look at your brain and body, okay, let's just call it the basics of the body. If you're in Eastern thought, you would call it chakras. If you are in the Western medicine world, you would look at different organs. You might even look at hormone systems. You could look at how brain chemicals work. As another way of looking at it, like a light switch, turning things on and off, the sympathetic parasympathetic system. Think about what happens when your body relaxes at night and restores itself, and then in the morning you turn the light switch on, and then all these things have to occur for you to have enough energy to get through the day. Okay, so that's really the basics of it. But everything that we're talking about is based on pulsatility, kind of like these bursts or little episodic little waveforms. And if you look at everything that's regulating your body, all these energy systems that we've discussed, everything from your stress glands, your ability to hold on to salt and water, all the reproductive hormones, everything from sexual development for the ability to have children, and then regulation of blood sugar and even your fat. It's all based on these waves. So when I look at all these systems, even if I were to give you the appropriate hormone or peptide, I wouldn't be able to do that unless I put it into a waveform. So you're kind of understanding it as I'm trying to bridge the gap from where you are to where you want to be. So your body has all these little pulses going through these waveforms. And when you recreate that in a charged spray, you're actually able to recreate it without overdosing you, without causing it to turn into something, because it's a waveform. And it's in sync with the way things were years ago. Okay? So if you want to grow your body, you want to repair your body, you want to keep your fat down, keep your muscle up, you want to level out your sugars, you want to do all these things to be a high-functioning person, just like you're in your 20s, you would have to have these waveforms in place. And this phenomena of pulsatile secretion, these waveforms, is observed through all cells and tissue types throughout the animal kingdom, including humans. And what happens is, for the body to be in balance, it has to have these pulses, okay? It has to work in these waveforms, on, off, up, down, all day long. When you get out of this sync, the body is no longer in what we call homeostasis, and you get ill, you get sick. Everything changes, outside in, inside out. So it makes absolutely no sense to take a synthetic medicine which does not work like this, does not work in sync. That's why synthetic drugs make you look nowhere near youth. You don't function that way, you don't think that way, and I don't need to prove this to you. 10, 20, 30 years out from 20, you have both physical changes, you have internal changes, your brain doesn't work the same way. So now you understand that everything that kept you youthful was based on a pulsatile waveform. And now you also understand is that when you have a bioactive waveform technology, you can sync everything that we have talked about in a previous discussion. In literally seconds from the time that you use this charged bioactive waveform technology. Comes in a spray, goes in your mouth. It will reset all the energy systems that naturally recharge your brain and body. Previously, we talked about the mitochondria, the powerhouses. We talked about the restorative systems, particularly the ones that reset you at night. We've talked about the detoxification ones. We've also talked about the metabolic ones, the ones that keep your body lean, burning fat, thermogenic. And then last but not least is your sexual systems. And so this is what the system is designed to do, and I look forward to introducing this to you and your families.